And so inXile, without Brian Fargo, can certainly benefit from being a Microsoft Studio. Now, a thing I'm less familiar with is about Microsoft history with role-playing games. I can't remember them having released a pure RPG game for the studio, but maybe I'm mistaken. I remember them.
Wasn't it Gas Powered Games? Wasn't it a Microsoft Game Studio?
Yes, it was both Microsoft
Gas Powered Games was the
yes,
developer of
yes,
Dungeon
for
Siege.
Dungeon Siege. Yes, I still have my first edition of Dungeon Siege, which I was lucky to win in a because it's called a raffle, I think, from Microsoft, with the original CD signed by the main developer of the game. But yes, it was Dungeon Siege, but it wasn't. It was an action RPG in the veins of a Diablo game, rather than a full-fledged RPG like Pillars of Eternity or Wasteland 2, a thing like that. Microsoft was also behind the late Asheron's Call MMO game. Turbine was a studio of Microsoft back then. They used a Microsoft Payments solution until they split and became an independent studio from Microsoft in the early 2000s. But I can't remember them. I don't know what was anything like Mass Effect or things like that, which was early on an Xbox 360 exclusive, was other studios from Electronic Arts. So no. So I'm curious to see what their strategy will be with that. Do they want to create a new RPG to be how to say that concurrent to Electronic Arts, or do they want because they could have acquired only one studio, let's say Obsdian, which is the most successful one, but they actually bought out two studios. I wonder what the strategy is behind that.
Maybe games for the Xbox, most likely.
Both studios can benefit, especially I think inXile already has experience with releasing on multiple platforms because Torment Tides of Numenera, which is the Numenera games we discussed earlier, has been released not only on PC but also on Xbox and PS4. I'm not sure about Obsidian Studios. If they released anything on I don't think they released anything on the consoles.
Not sure.
Pillars of Eternity, Tyranny, Fallout New Vegas. Oh, Alpha Protocol, I never entered 2. Star Wars Night of the Pharaoh. Oh, they released South Park, the South Park games. Oh, interesting. I didn't remember that, but in a twist of history, Dungeon Siege 3, which is I think one of the least liked games in the series, was released by Obsidian Studios. Back in the day, Obsidian Studios were mostly known for creating follow-up to major games like Dungeon Siege 3, Star Wars Knight of the Old Republic 2, I think, Neverwinter Nights 2, and Fallout New Vegas. And most of the games were positively received by the critics back then, which motivated them to create a new franchise. But as I said, at the turn of the decade, when we started the 2010s, Dungeon Siege 3 flopped, and I kind of remember that Obsidian Studio had financial difficulties because Microsoft backed away from an exclusive deal with them. So it's interesting to see that they are returning to Microsoft now.